Hello everybody, we are August 3rd and this is the launch of this new beekeeping channel. I'm in what used to be my main apiary. I used to have about 12 hives here. Right now I currently have 4 hives including this one. So I scaled down a bit. I had trouble with mismanagement, varroa management, winter feeding, and most of them did not last through the winters. So I scaled back down. I'm starting over, and this apiary is going to be where I put the swarms I capture and the hives I remove, the hive removals. And this one is actually a hive I removed from a roof. It's been 2 weeks since I removed that hive, and I don't really know what to expect. During the removal, I got about 2 frames worth of drone combs with capped brood, larvas, eggs. The other frames inside of the hives were already drawn from my older hives, and I expect either a lack of space, a lot of nectar, a lot of larvas. So I am planning to add either a honey super or another brood chamber, depending on what I'm seeing today. I'm also planning to do an alcohol wash to see the varroa infestation levels, and maybe put some apivore inside the hive before I leave, depending on the level I reach. So let's crack it open and see what's going on inside. Alright, so let's open it up and see what's going on. Alright, so the 3 frames with the wires that you can see were the frames that I transferred from the hive removal, and I stand corrected, I forgot I put some undrawn frames inside that hive. So I've got 4 frames that are not drawn. I should have fed longer than what I did. Next frames. So those frames have some larvas inside the honeycombs. I've got eggs as well. Maybe I'm going to make some syrup today and put a bucket before I leave. So there's a very good frames of capped brood, a lot of eggs and larvas as well around. The back is about the same, so they are drawing that frame as well. It was not fully drawn when I put it inside the hive. So that frame is a bit of a mismatch. So when I did the removal, the bottom half part was what I removed at that time, and they built the rest over the last 2 weeks. So there is a lot of egg in that bottom part. The rest is capped brood, and I think the queen may be lacking some space because they haven't drawn the rest of the frame, but mainly I think they are lacking food. And there is some nectar in the top corner here, but I haven't seen much yet. So yeah, I think I'm going to mix a bucket of syrup before I leave. The back is the same. The queen is laying inside the empty comb at the bottom of the frame. A lot of eggs inside of that. Since I have about 5 frames worth of bees, I don't think I'm going to do the alcohol wash today. I'm going to wait another week or two before those bees fully emerge. So I have a bit more for my test. A full frame of capped brood here. Because of the extra space they had, they are building sideways between the frames. It's going to fix itself over the weeks. A lot of eggs here as well in that bottom part that is uncapped. So those are eggs inside of that. So I don't know if they are thinking about swarming already, but I have a queen cell here that is uncapped and it isn't loaded. And I think I saw another one. No, there's not a second one. So no, I think it's going fine. A lot of eggs here again in the bottom part of the frame. This is full of eggs. So all the empty space they have, the queen is laying inside of the space, and they don't have food at all. So I'm going to bring over some more frames that are already drawn. The queen is moving around here, looking for some space to lay probably. Yeah. So I'm going to switch some undrawn frames for others that are already drawn that I have with me today. So the queen has some more space, and I'm going to drop a bucket of sugar syrup today. So they have a few, just a little bit of nectar, cat honey as well, a bit of pollen underneath, but that's not enough. I'm going to bring over 4 frames that are already drawn. So what I had put before was damaged frames with a bit of wax missing, but they haven't built inside of it. They haven't reached it yet, so I'm going to put 4 more frames that are ready to be used. Alright, so the first 3 I have are fully drawn. I'm going to add them in between the already used frames, so the queen has some space to lay, and it's going to stop the cross building of comb between the frames. And it's somewhat clean, so you should be able to use it pretty fast. And the last frame I'm putting is only drawn on one side, so the undrawn side is going to be on the outside. And I expect them to expand a little bit faster on those frames now that they have space. And I'll go mix a bucket of syrup, and I'll be back in about, what, 10 minutes when it's done. I'm going to close the hive meanwhile. Alright, so I'm back with the 2 for 1, 2 part of water for 1 part of sugar syrup. I'm going to remove the mesh that was held up with duct tape and put an upside down bucket in its place. Bucket has some small holes in the lid that's going to let the syrup drip down, and the bees are going to be able to feed directly to those drips. I'm going to put a hive body as a protection for that bucket, and I'm closing it up. Alright, so the hive is doing well. Even though the population is kind of small-ish, there is a lot of capped brood that is waiting to hatch in the coming weeks. I made a mistake when I did not feed it longer last week. I totally forgot that I put undrawn frames inside the hive when I put the swarm inside of it. That's why I fed it a bucket of 2 part water, 1 part syrup today. That's a 2-gallon bucket that should last for the week or so, a couple of days at least. And I expect them to start to occupy the frames that I put today that were drawn. Mostly clean and already drawn, so the queen should have no trouble to start laying inside of them. So, as I said at the beginning, this is a brand new channel. I don't know how long it is going to last. At least until winter, maybe longer if I manage to keep the hive alive during the winter. I expect it to survive the winter. I'm going to feed it properly, insulate it properly, and manage the varroa in the coming weeks to be sure that the population is big enough and healthy enough to go through winter. So I hope you liked what you saw today. If you did, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to be notified for the coming videos. I expect to do at least 5 or 6 videos here until the end of summer and the end of the winter preparation. And I hope I see you in the coming weeks and maybe next year, depending on how it goes. See you next time.